Hey everyone, it's Suzanne Kohlberg. And my question for you today is, what parable describes your life? What story, when you hear or listen to or read, do you really see yourself in? Because the reason I've been thinking about this today is a lot of people talk about finding your why, especially when it comes to making a change. Like, why do you want to do this? And for ages, I was really passionate about it. I read Simon Sinek's Start With Why. I listened to his TED Talk. I was like, having your why, having your commitment, having this rock solid thing, it makes all the difference. And I even taught it in my program. And what tended to happen is people put a lot of pressure on themselves to find their why. It was the most sticking point in everything that I taught. So I actually have, since taken that out. And I was thinking about it today in terms of, what parable describes your life, finding your purpose, finding your why. I even did a whole year-long program. I worked with a purpose coach. I did lots and lots of stuff. And I reached a point where I was like, perhaps I just have this perhaps I'm just eternally lazy. Because I would do the things and I would follow the steps, and I just didn't seem to have the earth-shattering, life-changing huzzah moments that everyone else seemed to have. And it reached a point where I was like, for me, like the parable that describes my life, and I was going to put it in the video description, but I was having a moment today. It is Friday after all, and I couldn't spell emperor. I tried and I tried and I tried, and it just didn't look right. And it was that bad that even autocorrect didn't pick it up. So hence this video is called What Parable Describes Your Life? Because for me, I'd very much say the emperor's new clothes. I'm the kid, I'm the little girl who sees stuff that other people don't see, and who's like, he's naked. And everyone's like, shh, don't say that. You don't have the special powers. You just can't see. And, I would do courses or programs or things that had been sold or had been, and I think it's hilarious. It's hilarious that I'm having this discussion on Black Friday when there's all these emails and text messages and buy this thing and buy this thing, and this is going to change your life, and it's 90% off. And oh my goodness, how many of these things are naked? And the thing is, it's kind of like, why do I do the work that I do? Like, having a purpose or having a commitment in that aspect, totally 100%. And although I'm a weight loss coach, my passion isn't weight. My passion isn't weight loss. Don't weigh people in, don't weigh people out. Don't even ask that. My passion is helping people speak their truth, helping people to say what they really feel, helping people say, hey, they're naked, and overcome the conditioning and the people pleasing and the martyring and the years of being told that what they're saying isn't true. Because when you are told so often that you're wrong and that you're doing it wrong, especially although I'm saying weight loss isn't not that excited about it, but what I believe is when we don't speak it out, we tend to shove it down or numb it or somehow force it down. And for me, for many years, and for a lot of people that I work with, the way that we do that is with food. And, in order to keep the peace externally, we kind of start a war internally by eating stuff when we're not hungry, or eating as a way to avoid feeling, or eating as a way because, food doesn't talk back. Food doesn't argue. Food doesn't tell you that you're wrong and that you can't see the amazing clothes that other people have on. And the other story that I really resonate is, Joan of Arc. I've even got on my desk here, I'm not afraid, I was born to do this. Because a lot of the stuff that I speak about, I'm told that I'm wrong. I remember being in a group. I'm not in many groups anymore. I've left them, like Facebook groups and stuff. And somebody was saying that the only way that you can lose weight is if you run. And I just laughed. I was like, you've got to be kidding. And in another group, I was told that if I'd lost weight right, I wouldn't have loose skin. I have a lot of loose skin. And obviously you can tighten it up and there's things that you can do. But I've not seen anybody who's lost as much weight as I have, released as much weight as I have, who is not got any loose skin. When 78 kilos, 171 pounds, that's an entire person. The body has the remnants of that. And I'm not embarrassed about that. I'm not ashamed about that. And, I see this as evidence of where I was and how far I've come. And when a lot of people fear releasing the weight because oh, what about all this skin, and scars and stretch marks, and they're like medals of honor and pride. And anyway, I'm getting off track. So my question for you today, if you're watching this, and I'd love it for you to share it, but I understand it might be a bit sensitive, so even just contemplate it. What story do you really connect with? Like, you see the person and it feels like your life. Are you a fellow Emperor's New Clothes person who sees behind the scenes? Or another one would be like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, where you're looking for this wizard and you're looking for this person who's going to tell you what to do, and then you realize it's just some dude behind a curtain, and it's like, whoa, the only person who's going to save me is myself. Because when we go from that energy of trying to find the thing, the diet, the program, the pill, the powder, the potion, the person, and realize that all along it was always us, it can be confronting, but it also can be powerful, because there's a shift in trying and failing and realizing that it was never about being a student and getting it right, but it was more about being a scientist and experimenting and trying things, because we all have different bodies, different metabolisms, different sleep requirements, different sleep that we actually get. Hello, young children, and work and travel and stuff. And what works for one person isn't going to work for someone else. So the answer is never finding the exact right thing to do. I believe the answer is finding a community and a supportive space in which you can be held while you try these different things and get the feedback and get the support, and know that no matter what happens, people have your back and you can speak out, and you're not told to be quiet because, when you were saying, hey, this is naked, this didn't work for me. Great. What is going to work for you? Let's work on that together. Let's experiment. Let's find that. And that's why I've created my community. And I'm so passionate about my program, Why Wait, to host a space where it's not me at the front of the classroom with the whiteboard marker and the PowerPoint presentation, because lo and behold, I'm not the best person to make slides. And then you're taking notes studiously and trying to do it exactly right, and then coming back and going, no. I honestly believe that you can only listen to 5% of what I say and still have really great results, because it's not about me teaching you what to do. It's about having a community to be held while you experiment and come back and report and get, sometimes pick yourself up, dust yourself off. You've got this. And also people to celebrate you, because in Australia, we have a lot of tall poppy syndrome going on. When you're, it was in a group the other day, mostly of American Canadian people. And when I said tall poppy syndrome, they were like, what's that? But, it's the culture of when people are doing well and having success to kind of cut them down. And I don't understand why it's so rampant over here. But when people are doing well, instead of cutting them down, it's very common here, don't get too big for your britches, or don't brag, or don't expect it to last, or it's only a once off. What a horrible shit kind of way to live. When something goes well, be friggin' excited and celebrate, and have other people celebrate you. Because when you see someone else doing something and achieving something that you want, that's evidence. If they can do it, I can do it. Not the compare and despair and because she's done it, I can never do it, cry in the corner. We can all do this together. And that's another thing I love about my programs, is I often have fellow coaches, even fellow health coaches in the course. And sometimes we often have the discussion before they enroll, because they're there's this embarrassment that maybe they haven't got their shit together if they're working in a program. I always have a coach. I believe a coach without a coach is like a doctor without a doctor. I'm a lifelong learner, and I always need support. And also that, where was I going with that? Having other coaches in the group. Oh, the other concern they have is they think that I might think that they're coming in to steal my stuff. like nobody has a patent on this. Like, I honestly don't believe there's any new ideas. There's recycled ones, and there's ways that we all share the same information with our own flair, obviously. But, you know, if the goal is for everybody to find their purpose and achieve their passion and have that commitment to their ongoing success, does it matter how they did it? So I ended up on a total tangent, and that happens with me. But I really encourage you, like, what story is it that you really, really resonate with? And what is it about that story? So for me, you know, the little girl in the Emperor's New Clothes, realizing that, you know, I see so much of myself in that. And whenever I'm going to eat when I'm not particularly hungry, or I feel like, you know, an emotional vulnerability, shame hangover because I've spoken up and been kind of like put in my place and I'm reaching for food, I was like, oh, it's okay. And it's a reminder that, you know, that's that story, that's that parable playing out. And I don't need to put food on top of that. So I hope that's been helpful. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye.